Hi, so this is Brett with Rage Badger Gaming. So today we're going to do something different. We are going to play Gloomhaven Digital. And by we, I mean me. Initially I'm like, well, that would be interesting because a lot of what makes Gloomhaven special is there is that level of what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And you kind of cooperate. And Gloomhaven Digital gives one person control of everyone, so you can pull off some of these really neat combos without having to, overplan and go, hey, what's your initiative? Are you starting early? And so on. So I'm going to be running some of these, and Stephanie's like, you could run it on insane difficulty. I saw some posts saying that, oh my goodness, it's insane. How do you do this? And I've run one post that's like, I run scenarios typically at difficulty +2 very hard, and I couldn't do insane. And that got me thinking, are these people doing the rules correctly? Because I think I'm pretty good at the game, and I'm super smug. So of course, when she said do it on insane difficulty, I bid on that. So we're going to walk through that right now. We're just going to do one scenario, and I'm going to do a little bit at a time. I did have a bunch of stuff that's like where I'm just thinking, so I've clipped a little bit out so you don't have to deal with like everything going through my head and wait for like 90 seconds for me to make a decision. You just have to deal with 90 seconds of me ranting before the video, so I'll just walk you through it. So I did start with the Cragheart, the Spellweaver, and the Tinkerer. I've never really played the Tinkerer before. We've had one in our party, but it's been so long ago I have no idea how to play. So this was fun. So they tossed you in this room. You can immediately see that there are 3 archers and 4 bandit guards. There's an elite archer and elite guard. So the first thing I wanted to do was kind of set myself up on what I wanted to do. So I want to hit all of them as hard as I can. I know the dungeon doesn't look very big, so I zoom out here. You can see that I don't actually have to clear much. So I'm going to burst this first turn. We're going to use a bonus to attack. We're going to use range attack. So we're going to see, I'm going to pick this massive boulder for the Cragheart. We're going to go with the Rumbling Advance, so I can actually deal some suffer damage. So that's what's going to go here. Obviously, Fire Orbs with a Power Potion. I actually forget I have potions later in the dungeon, so that ends up being fun. But right now, obviously Enhancement Field, and right now we kind of just want a low initiative thing. So hopefully we'll go early enough, and I'm going to pick Stun Shot, so not only can I buff everyone's ranged attacks that I'm going to be tossing out this turn, but we're going to be stunning one of the enemies before they go. Worst case scenario, they're stunned for next turn. So I flipped their initiative, so I made sure that the Tinkerer went off before the Spellweaver. So as you can see here, the Tinkerer is going. Boom. It's going to pop that field. People should know that even in Gloomhaven, even though it says all allies within 1, this persists only if you perform the attack within 1 of the Tinkerer when the attack is made. So I can't actually move unless I move after, which the Cragheart does later in the turn. So you can see here, I can't figure out which one, so I'm actually going to just stun the one there because I know my Cragheart's going to be heading in that direction. So I just want to hold him in place, and boom. It's really hard to pick because the other one's just going to get in and shoot us anyway, so it wasn't really worth it. So now we've got the Spellweaver. Of course, I'm going to pop the Frost Armor. She isn't positioned very well, so I could have moved, but there's really not much. There's nowhere to run. So Frost Armor, so we're going to go Fire Orbs, and more than certainly Power Potion. And we get to watch this. Ah, yes. Funny part is I wasn't actually expecting to kill things, so like the guy stunned is not even stunned. I just killed him. It kind of feels almost wasted. It's just frustrating because I realize I'm learning a bunch of errors that I'm making, which is fine. But so see here, Frost Armor stops the first 6 damage on her. There's another 3 coming in here, and boom. So saved 6 damage. That's fine. Next guy. Ha ha ha! So funny. Only 1 damage. Bandit Archer hits way too hard, so decided to get rid of one of these cards. Really, the Spellweaver burns her cards too fast in there. It's all because of positioning. Had we put something else there, it's not really a very optimal setup, but I'm getting used to insane difficulty is really what it is. I don't even think it's even that insane. Maybe I'm just smug. I don't know. So we take the onslaught here. So you can see here, there's one clear, in my opinion, there's really only one really good shot I like. And that's there. You're going to take 2 guys out almost guaranteed, and then hurt another. Boom. So now that we've dealt with 3 guys out on the first turn, and now let's move. We're going to use the boots to make sure I can get into position. For that bandit archer over there is going to be blocked in the corner. So he's going to be doing a ranged attack with us at disadvantage. And that's going to be hilarious. So let's get over there. And it's time to slam. All right. So that was my first turn. All in all, it wasn't that terrible. I got to get a little bit of loot there. So initially, we're going to pick Unstable Upheaval. I wanted it for the initiative, but I realized I can actually just hit everyone around me. Hell yeah. And Tinkerer, he's going to have to do some healing. I think this is also the turn I do an error with the Spellweaver. There's so many errors throughout this because I actually forget that the Summon Mystic ally is on the bottom. So I think it's a top action, so I end up screwing it up. I feel very frustrated because I've made several errors during this, and yeah, I consider myself to be quite good. So it's all my smugness. So yeah, Mana Bolt and Aid from the Ether. It does allow me to summon the minion early, but the minion's initiative doesn't even matter. But it does allow her to blast. I was hoping she would heal, but they both have heal actions on the wrong thing. So I could double heal, or I could damage and summon. And I'm like, I wanted to heal and summon, so I clearly can't do that. This is just a sign of ineptitude on my part. So I can summon the Mystic Ally over here in the corner. Ends up doing a bit of legwork throughout the scenario. Ranged summons are one of the better in the game, so this is one of the good ones. I'm usually not a big summon fan, but it's ranged. It's constantly going to be doing attack 3, so I think this is a good card, honestly. I think people underestimate it. And Mana Bolt, we're going to hit that nice elite bandit over there and do a nice 3 damage to him. And +2 to all melee attacks this round. And then attack 5 all adjacent enemies. And lo and behold, knocks one out, brings one almost down entirely. So this is where I bring the Spellweaver back up to more health. And I'm hoping to get maybe a good roll and take out the annoying bandit over there, but I end up not, so I only bring it to 1 health. It's okay, he'll get taken out shortly, so. And here, +0. Just puts him down to 1. It's always frustrating. There's so many of them that get brought to 1 here. First damage the Cragheart takes, which is fine. Give him disadvantage. I've trapped him, so he has to attack me with that, so, ha! Oh crap, that's hilarious. Now they have to reshuffle and doesn't get to do any damage to me. That's fantastic. It's hard to beat out Bandit Archer doing nothing on his turn. So this is one of those turns where I was like, she's burned out so many cards from her terrible positioning where they started her that I'm going to have to Reviving Ether way too soon, but you can see that the kill all enemies in all rooms has filled up a third of the way, and that must mean that this room has most of the enemies, so there's probably only 6 or so remaining. So with that in mind, and that's one of the things you get in Gloomhaven Digital, I'm not really feeling like I'm going to have to necessarily need that. So he's going to hook shot, and that should take this guy out, and boom. Again, we've got here the Tinkerer is really just kind of finishing things off, keeping people topped off. And I'm moving over him. He collects gold a couple times in the scenario. So, I mean, beyond that, I got to make a couple more errors. You get to see that, and boom, 2 damage to the Crag card. He gets brought pretty low, and he gets immobilized, but I don't even have to worry about that. So here we go, and ready? Yeet! Boom! All right, and perfect position for a loot. Gotta love that. Oh man, 12 gold. That's fantastic. God, I'm so good at this. Problem is the Mystic Alley doesn't really do anything, but this allows me to get in a good position to just ether my cards back. And it's just a terrible time to ether because I've got like some discarded, some straight in the lost. It's not a really good position, so I feel like this is one of my worst Spellweaver plays. Yeah, I'm kind of fixated at how poorly I play this, so hopefully the next scenario goes a little bit better. So, the Craghart's really only lost 1 card, and if you look at the meter, I've already killed a little over half the enemies. There were 7 in this room, so that leads me to believe there's only 6 or 5 left. And the Craghart's only lost 1. The Tinkerer's only lost... Has the Tinkerer lost 1? Yeah, lost 1. So, with only 2 losses there, I need those in the... And I just got my ether back from Spellweaver. This is going to be a pretty easy scenario. There's no enemies up right now, so I'm kind of just planning how I want to do this. And I screw this up. As you can see here, like, I go into the room with the boots on, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to back up and drop the chest. But you can see there? See that gold there? That's going to stop me from dropping this stupid 6 damage trap. And that's frustrating as all hell. There's no place for him to drop it. He'd have to drop on there, and then he'd actually take 2 attacks if he moved back 1. So I opted just to move back 2, drop no, and just drop nothing and hold on to the mine. I play it a little conservatively from this point on because I'm only really fighting 2 to 4 enemies at a time. So I could have probably burned Avalanche here. You're going to see I'm actually just going to do a default attack. I was holding on to maybe Avalanche in the last room. It ends up never mattering. I could have just hit him here, but that's fine. I end up doing a better attack next turn and end up making him completely worthless, which is perfectly fine by me. Yeah, the Mystic Ally doesn't do anything there. Let me move on here. Not a good draw on the Spellweaver. Oh my goodness, so, like, one of the things on this that really makes it easier is you get, like, a lot of these scenarios where sometimes coordination would hurt you, and we're all playing with the same thing in mind. I'm trying to push in, trying to loot as many of these gold coins as possible, and we're trying to do this in an efficient manner. And honestly, when I'm not dealing with the people I normally play with, this ends up being significantly easier. I kind of wish that they'd... I mean, you know, maybe this is one of the easiest scenarios in the game. So it's possible I lucked out here, because look at how quickly this has turned around. So we got Shield and Retaliate on the Bandit Guard Elite. So all he's doing is that. And the funny part is I've already got a push loaded up, so I'm not even going to take the Retaliate. So it doesn't even matter, and the only other attacks I have are ranged. So again, I get lucky there. I heal him, and the problem is the shield was triggered too late. I don't know why I thought that 37 would be a good initiative to shield. Again, and that's another one of those goofy things I screw up here, but that's fine. I'm allowed to screw up every now and then. I'm not perfect. Oh no, the Mystic Alley I don't think even gets in range this turn. See, again, I'm actually fighting with myself, not learning the rules of my thing, so that ends up being unfortunate. I'm probably going to play a little bit better next time, remembering how my classes are supposed to play. Craghart I'm way more familiar with, so that's one of the ones where I'm not so terribly off on. But as you can see here, these cards are just end up being wasted because there's no space to move. And yeah, it's kind of frustrating. But Again, I don't want to burn out. I could just have her jump in, fire orb, and burn, but I mean, we don't know what's in that last room. I mean, we know it has to be bandits because we got that in the preview splash, but that's about it. So he's going to short rest. I don't care about dirt tornado. Let's move. So we're going to drop a forceful storm here because at the very least, I'm going to go early, and let's just disarm both of them. If I can go before them, they're just not going to attack, and that makes that super easy. So we're just playing some default stuff in long rests to make sure that these guys can stay in the game for a while. Again, with these two, there's no more than 4 enemies in the last room, so maybe I can pop a fire orbs on them, get Cragheart topped off, and there's another wasted top action where I'm just going to do a default attack and then nothing. So I know it's a lot of this seems a little, in my opinion, I feel like I could have been more efficient. But, I mean, things first. And ready? Crit! Boom! And the other one's disarmed. So killed one, disarmed the other. That's worth a loss. And I get to loot here and take 1 damage. That guy ends up skipping his whole turn because he's already next to his focus and he's disarmed. It's an easy decision in my part. Mystic Ally gets to toss 3 damage to him, 2 damage because of the shield. And now, finally, Spellweaver loses yet another card. She's gonna burn up pretty quickly. So with only 4 or 5 enemies left, yeah, and that's frustrating because I like doing the Flame Strike following the Fire Orbs, but I just don't have the setup for it this scenario. It's one of those where you like want to commit to something and you're like, this works out really well for my class, but sometimes you have to let go and just change your strategy, be a little more tactical. So that's what we're doing today. Tinker is going to long rest back there, and all we have to do is finish off this Bandit Guard Elite, open that room and clear it out. Hopefully there's a chest in there. As you can see there, my Mystic Ally just got rid of them, so all we have to do is move in. It makes it super easy. Move in, loot, and another wasted top half. That's the goal of this scenario, is to waste as many top halves as possible. So we can finally figure out, hey, what are we doing in here? Let's open the door and see what we have. Boom. 3 archers, 2 of which are elites, and then a non-elite bandit guard. So let's run back here. So they're going to have to move a little bit to shoot me, and they will. They've got a long range, and they're really nasty. This guy's not doing anything this turn, but he's going to stand in the doorway. So there, boom. See, the thing is, I'm like, I'm out of range, I'm out of that. So I thought I'd be safe there, and kind of dumb realizing that can still easily see the corner of that hex. Another gaff. Also, I forget that he's got a healing potion. Oh, man, that's frustrating. Obviously, I don't think I'm going to be using the ink bomb, so probably, no, net shooter, yeah. The problem was there's so many cards I just was like, I'm not sure which of these are going to use, but I think this is going to be the one that I'm not feeling particularly attached to finish this scenario out. So moving forward, Cragheart just kind of wants to keep himself alive here. So funny part is I kind of wanted to do crater and run in, but I kind of didn't feel like it. If I had a potion, I think I could have flown in there, used the boots, and did some damage and immobilization, but I kind of forgot I had the potion. So, well, we will get some invisible fire orbs going on, though, so got that going for me, which is pretty nice. So Tinkerer gets to run the fuck in and heal. I'm actually going to use the top half of this energizing tonic, get a Cragheart healed off. So it's one of those things where I know sometimes you can just burn cards, and I've got that option here, but right now we're just burning a card to get. First off, it does give the Tinkerer experience, because when you burn cards, you can't get the experience on those anymore. He's immobilized now, so that's fine though, because he's going to just heal him on his turn. This is one of those things where I should have used the potion already, because he was going to take a lot of damage. Good thing they drew the crit on the 1 damage. Oh man. And again, I forget I'm at 1, and I forget I have a healing potion. It's very... I can't... And see, I'm beating myself the whole time. And I hope I'll get the... And here we go. It's annoying, because like almost any card could have drawn... So as long as a +0 or a green or a crit, it would have killed him, but now I have to deal with that there. And he actually ends up poisoning me next turn. I know, we're giving insight into what's already happened. It's frustrating. So fly over here, realize I need to move 1 more square so I can attack them all without suffering disadvantage. So we're going to move 1 more. Let's move there. And then we're going to do Fire Orb. Sadly, I don't have the other buffs, so we're just going to do a raw. Attack 3 on all of them instead of attack 5 like I opened it with. But that's fine. We can do, on average, 9 damage. That's pretty good. But sadly, this time it ends up only doing 8 damage. It's not terrible for a level 1 loss. She ends up getting 3 experience off of it, and boom. Invisible. Have to burn a card. And in the end, Heaving Swing's just never going to get used again, so I'm not going to miss it. So all I have to do is finish off these 4 guys and hopefully loot that chest, and I'm done. So we could see that the Craghearts only lost 4 cards. The Tinkerer's lost 2, I think, at this point. No, 3. Spellweaver's pretty close to burned out, but to take on 4 wounded guys with that minimal loss, I'm starting to doubt the insane difficulty on this. They're calling this insane, and some people are hyping it up as, man, I can't beat it. And to that I say, you're playing the rules wrong. You're running something wrong. If you say you can do Gloomhaven at difficulty +2 with coordinating with people and with that handicap of not being able to control everything, and then Gloomhaven Digital ends up kicking your ass, I think you should kind of watch a video on how the rules are played, because I actually don't think that anyone who plays on that should be having any trouble with insane difficulty. I mean, I make several gaffes, and none of my guys... I'm going to spoil it for you here. No one gets exhausted, and I clear it. It's... I mean, I just don't think... See, we're going to run the Tinkerer up here, and he's going to end up taking 7 damage from all these attacks. Because I'm going to stun 1 guy. Boom, that elite. I love how I get a crit and then attack 1. That's just hilarious. But right now, I'm just going to keep myself alive, heal myself. That heal 2 will remove the poison, and heal 4 will give him 4 more. Again, I missed the healing potion that I could have used here. So, it's the parade of me being dumb. Also, the Tinkerer, after he takes 7 damage, I forget to heal him with his own healing potion. I would have used stamina potions, but they do have the nerfed version on here. We are playing with the nerfed version live, so... I guess it also depends on what classes people are bringing. It's possible people are using the more powerful classes than the Gloomhaven one, and I'm using... These aren't so powerful. Cragheart's pretty solid. He's not great. Spellweaver's pretty good. Mystic Ally ready. Yeet. Boom. God, that's such a good summon. He stays back. That's the best part. A lot of the melee summons run in there and get themselves killed, break themselves on retaliate without even looking. Ranged summons are... They just play smarter. Just because of how the monster AI plays. I think it's just as simple as that. So what we're going to do is, see that little trap over there? We're going to pull him into the trap, and all I have to do is do 3 damage to it, and that'll kill him in 1 shot. And all we have to do is get an Impaling Eruption without really any penalties, or with just 1+1 will do it. So you think, is that all I need to do? Could it be that easy that I can get that done now? So I draw a +1, boom, brings him to 4, pulls him into the 4 damage trap, and dead. Boom. Easy mode. And go back here, pick up some loot, heal the Cragheart. He doesn't need the heal, but whatever, it's going to do it anyway. So now we're going to go to... I'm going to block the Mystic Ally from moving into my spot, so whatever. He's not doing anything this turn anyway, so... You go over to the stupid Spellweaver. She's going to do her Impaling Eruption. All she has to do is draw anything that's not a negative or a 0 on that 1, and it's over. If not, Cragheart will run in, but she does draw. Bam. Yeet! Again, double kill, and she gets 2 experience from it. So, and we get to move on to another one of those gold tiles, and we'll get some more loot. Easy mode. And last but not least, the snare is going to be over because everyone's dead, so let's be sure that we get that chest. Otherwise, I would have, if anyone of them would have survived, I could have just attacked 3'd on them, and as long as I didn't get a null. scenario's over. So that's that. So what have we learned from this? Here's a nice victory. Gold piles looted. I missed 3. Maybe I need to be more efficient this time. So what have we learned? Insane isn't that insane. Maybe I'll have to worry until the dungeons go up to level 2. All the scenario paths are considered hard. I got a Wand of Frost. That's good for the Spellweaver. We get to buy some things. I actually buy some more, another invisibility cloak for my Tinkerer, so that's fun. We'll try that out next scenario. And we try, I think I got a Poison Dagger for my Cragheart. And this should be, I think, a pretty fun group. I'm feeling like this could be something we go forward with. So I don't know what that means. So we'll cut that out. So we're going to move on, and I'm going to try to progress towards that boss and see how many times I can level up. I'm going to try to at least get them all to level 2. Looks like we can buy enhancements, so I might try one of the cool ones, like putting strength on the bottom half of Mana Bolt, so when I heal myself, I get strengthened. So you can set that up for one of those cool things where you pop fire orbs and you have strength and you have advantage on all 3 attacks, then pop a power potion, so on average you do 15 damage, or if you coordinate it with the Tinkerer, you can get on average like 18, which ends up being pretty incredible. So we'll try that out, but I don't buy the enhancement yet, so we'll see where we stand next scenario. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, like, subscribe, let me know any other errors, or critique me as hard as you want, because I want to get through this whole thing on all the difficulties, kill all these bosses, and if you want to see another class, maybe I'll start another group sometime, and we'll try maybe the Brute. And there is a new mercenary they have unlocked, the Triforce class. So I'm trying to avoid some of the spoiler ones for now, but since it is Gloomhaven Digital, I think some people don't care as much. So thanks for watching.